This week in Doctor Who, the Doctor commits more war crimes, Jodie gets some big improvements, Jimmy's favourite writer might come back, and the Stig appears. This and more in Mad Men with a Box.
Hello everybody, I am Professor Pixel here once again on Mad Men with the Box with the usual co-hosts, the three of us ready to lead the show. So on my side you see Jimmy, below the man down under, always down under, it's OZ Chris.
I get it, Australia all sex joke, haha, 2 for 1.
He sure does go down.
Yeah.
Speaking of touchy, though, I think it's time we go right in and start talking about this week and who. I know that Jimmy has found quite a few things this week.
So happy you gave me this wonderful segue into talking about Jodie Whittaker's big old.
Here she is.
Yeah. So someone provided this, whatever it is. I don't know why they made this. It's some might say art. I don't know why they would do this. Inner workings of one's mind is a enigma to a lot of people. So we'll never know why someone decided to do this.
In 2005, Doctor Who returned. 2010, they went into high definition. And in 2021, we went into 3Ds. Let's get into the species. The Doctor's species. The person didn't even.
To be fair, that is what it's listed as on the literal TARDIS wiki. But she has some jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, a plastic surgeon, and she's a packer. She packs a lot. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Adopted brother Samuel L. Jackson. Adopted children, Tech Taeyoon. What?
Mother is what is
my
this, Alabama?
Mommy is my child now. Also worth noting, the Pating is here, and it says affiliated with Team TARDIS and Kerblam. I don't get it. So she works for Kerblam? Is that the?
I guess so.
Her side gig? Yeah. By day, she's a plastic surgeon, providing.
Or a packer.
No. That's at night when she goes to work for Space Amazon. There you go.
Why'd you zoom? Why did you?
Everybody
zoom?
gets.
Why did you zoom?
You know why I zoom? So that way, everybody has this scar in their mind for all time.
You know, if she had those in real life, I don't think they would have needed to worry about falling or drowning in the sea of acid in episode 1 of Flux. They could have just floated their way.
I thought you were gonna go into some tangent about how the ratings wouldn't drop. You got some really good news, don't you? Someone you really love is coming back.
I want to skip this. Can we skip this?
No.
We
are talking about this because you love Mark Gatiss. We've established this numerous times. He's your favorite writer, and he could be coming back to Doctor Who. That's the news. And Jimmy, Jimmy, when you're future Jimmy editing this, I want you to zoom in on your face so the audience can see how much you are excited.
Future Jimmy, don't do it. Don't do it. You're
future
just gonna
Jimmy, do it. Do it for the laughs. It'd be pretty cool.
You're just gonna play right into their head. You did it. You fucking did it. If you guys look at his thing, it says actor, writer, strangler. Of views. Because it's just everything he does is just shit.
Strangler's a little weird.
Yet you follow him. You just must really love him.
I follow him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Did you actually read the article? Did he say
did.
he would return?
No, he said if they asked, probably, but we don't know. I can't say anything. He knows very little about what they're doing with RTD. The future's up, and it's what's the word he said? He said
in the air, up in the air.
Yeah, it's just up in the air, possibly.
Okay.
Unless it's an older property that I can over with Stephen Moffat, I ain't coming back. I'm looking at you.
Why did you zoom in? Why did you zoom in?
I want you to look at him, Jimmy.
That's the face of the man that decided, hey, Dracula is only afraid of the light because bullshit.
You guys ever know, like, when you see someone, you look at them, and you go, "Oh, like I kind of want to be friends with them."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This guy looks like the guy. Like, oh, I want to be friends with him, and then you find out what he does.
Jimmy,
He's the most.
you act like he is. You act like he has hurt you. He's not Chris Chibnall. He's not Chris Chibnall. Stop acting like it.
He did hurt me. I watched Idiot's Lantern. Chris, you know we know you're the oracle of guessing who the next Doctor who Doctor.
I'm never wrong.
Who did you think was going to be the next Doctor?
It was definitely going to be Chris Pratt, obviously.
Why do you say was? It is. I thought it is.
It is. It was, is, forever will be. I'm going to travel back in time and then also make him the 1st to 13th Doctor.
Well, you're wrong. Well. The official parody account of Doctor Who released the 14th Doctor, and it hurts.
God damn it.
Sorry.
All right, now scroll down. Scroll down.
He's not cool. You fell for it. You honestly thought they would get.
You thought
he's too mainstream, to be honest. He's too mainstream.
Not.
He is Spider-Man.
Technically,
he's mainstream now because of the new Spider-Man movie that everyone loved.
Everyone retroactively was like, "Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man series."
I have been saying this since the fucking 2012. He's my favorite Spider-Man overall. I don't give a shit what anyone says. And then everyone always fights me. No, Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire's the best Peter Parker.
Listen, this is all I'm going to say because I really do love Spider-Man. When you talk about the characters, Tobey Maguire plays a perfect Peter Parker.
And that's another stupid thing everyone says.
You're wrong.
Hey, no, I'm not. He's the perfect overall.
No.
Like, now that was mentioned, I never even crossed my mind. But now that it's crossed my mind, I really want to see him do that. I think he would be fantastic.
I don't see it. Sorry.
Well, we all have our faults, and that's yours.
Like this parody account that is wrong. It's obviously going to be Chris Pratt.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
Yeah.
Move on.
Die on this hill.
Production Weekly has confirmed that it will begin filming Series 14 of Doctor Who in spring 2022.
So my guess, hear me out, now that they finally confirmed they're beginning production, as of last week, they said they were doing auditions. As of this week, do you think they might have found it?
It was either last week or the week before he announced that he already sent out the scripts for his series. So I don't know.
He had a few scripts already in the works. The only showrunner to not host auditions is the one that it up, Chris Chibnall. He went in there going, "I want Jodie Whittaker to be the Doctor. I want the Doctor to be female. This is who it is."
I've worked with Jodie, so
Do you think like this could be like a back to normal sort of thing?
One would hope so. That's what we need. We need some good Doctor Who.
Actually, that brings me up to another thing that I saw today. It was
Jodie
actually
Whittaker's big fat.
I'll just show it. Showing is better than me speaking. I actually saw it from our good friend Chlo Ho Ho. I don't remember.
It's
Cosmic
Ho
Eight.
Ho.
Yeah.
Chlo Ho Ho. It says down here. Apparently, this is the.
Yeah, but this is fake.
This is fake.
Yeah, this is fake.
I don't
because I think they said that like Matt Strevens is not one of the producers, but it says that he is, or something like that.
Her could be like another female Doctor,
which I don't mind. Honestly, it's who's writing them that matters.
It's not that it's a doctor. I mean, not that it's a woman. It's just we just had a woman go back to a guy and then go back and forth from here on out.
There's a friend of ours. He's bald and he's talked about a little bit of it, even though he doesn't watch Doctor Who. And he said that if they did that, it would really be a sign of them throwing in the towel. So most likely they won't do that.
They've already admitted they've wrong. That's why they went back to RTD.
That's not saying. That's not no. They're going to. It's most likely going to be another woman. if it's not a woman, it's a guy of color. As
I kind of want a guy of color.
Chris Pratt in blackface. Cool. All right, I'm down for this. Yeah,
Chris Pratt in blackface.
Get out!
What?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Progressive. Let's go, baby.
Anyways, that's This Week in Who.
Actually, there's one more thing to show off.
So what this is, we get to see a drag show and possibly 13 do the worst dance of their life.
Oh my god, those lyrics.
What the fuck does clap for the bing bang bong mean?
Sing, sing,
I have no idea.
Ding dang dong.
She did a kick and then went on the ground and did another kick. Creative.
Art is subjective, Jimmy. How dare you criticize art? I mean, nothing against this person, but like, it is kind of cringy.
Oh, it's very.
She's the most like energetic, but like the energy does not make up for like the not talent.
I go to conventions and I've actually gone ahead and sat down for something like a shadow cast where you have people lip syncing what's going on while they have the episode in the background, and that's kind of cringy as well. But they're doing it to have fun, and you're just like, okay. And so I can get used to stuff like that. This, however, there's nothing about Doctor Who that applies to this.
Transitioning?
They can do whatever they want. If that makes them happy, sure. It just doesn't look good in our eyes, but hey, more power to them.
We've talked about all sorts of things. It's time to discuss the reason for tonight's show, and that is the Ninth Doctor Adventures Part 2 of the Ravagers. Yes,
it is called Cataclysm.
And remember, just Ravagers, not the wasted villains of the most recent series.
By the way, the Ravagers, I still don't know where they are in the audio drama. I just don't know.
They don't have a voice or anything. They're
until the third part. Not until the third part.
I haven't gotten
when I rewatch when I re-listen to the third part, it might kick in for me.
I think since I'm leading the show, I'll go ahead and give my first thoughts. I really liked it. So we pick up where we leave off, and Nova is far more influential in this episode than the previous one, where she just disappears in the first 5 minutes and then appears later on to explain how they met. Rather than us jumping from moment to moment, in this one, we're jumping through time, but we're with the Doctor. It's more natural to us to be in this position. I also like how we have Abigail. Is that her name? Abigail?
Audrey.
We have her as the person we know, the one who is acting all old and worn out, and we get a young version of her, which is just the actress putting on their voice a little higher. But
that was a great moment too, because there was like, oh, you wanted to talk to me a minute ago, and then Nova's just like, Doctor, that hasn't happened yet. He goes, oh.
Well, that was because his brain at the time was a little bit on the fritz.
Fuzzy. It's because of the time particles he was sniffing.
It's really weird because, and not to go too much into technophobia, which we'll talk about, but the Doctor has a moment like that in that episode too, where what's happening? My brain, I can't think.
That's different. It's
different, but it's the same.
It's different because he actually gets dumber in that. This is just, it's not that I'm dumb, it's just I'm a little high on some time particles.
Yeah.
He not really know what I'm doing.
He was tasting those particles, huh?
It's Dr. Catnip.
But overall, I think it was really a strong episode, and I'm excited to finish this. Not the Ravagers, but just Ravagers. I'm looking forward to finishing it.
I think this is the weakest one,
really,
so far. It was just a little. You know how like the first one was a little like back and forth, a little all over the place, but it was still like really good. This one was like a little all over the place for the sake of being all over the place, if that makes sense. They're trying to be Christopher Nolan because the person who wrote this just loves Christopher Nolan. I don't think this particular episode was the strong. It's still pretty good, but not the best. This was still the weakest one. The next one, if I remember correctly, is my favorite in the first volume.
Yeah, food fight.
You know what? Okay, Audrey did act her butt off in this. I feel like her performance was whoever's Audrey. Kudos to you. Nova felt a little wasted, in my opinion. I feel like Nova was just there, just to be there. Like, this episode just didn't
it's
really.
Weird because she's fleshed out more here, but yeah, she's not used as much. So we know a bit more about Nova. We get a bit more of her personality.
Yeah.
Because she really sparks up against the Doctor, because she almost gets turned into a mindless slave in the first few minutes of the episode. But she
sparks up against the Doctor in like why would she do that?
Well, she didn't expect that. She didn't expect to be thrown through a time eddy and then being forced to go back to the sphere of freedom right after that, whenever she says, "You promised to take me somewhere else so that I could escape this place." And he's like, "Yes, but I've got to finish this." And after that, after they realize the universe is going to be torn apart by the Ravagers, as it's actively happening, she smartens up and she goes along with it, knowing that they have to save the universe.
All right, you put it that way, then I kind of understand.
In very rare occurrences, again, I agree with Jimmy. I kind of think this was the weakest of the three. It doesn't mean that it's bad. Like, I'd probably give this the same rating as the first one, but I did still feel like it was the weakest of the three stories of Ravagers. It being all over the place, it makes more sense here, considering what's happening, with all the time eddies, the Doctor visiting like different parts, visiting Audrey present day, past, all of that. It makes more sense here, but like there's some good parts, like Nova's a bit more fleshed out, but I feel like in some regards she's just kind of there sometimes. I don't know. This is a really weird part of the story. I feel like more should have happened in this. I mean, the plot really does still kick in here, but I feel like, I don't know. It's something that I can't describe. There's something else that is missing from it.
It was just drawn out. Like,
that's kind of the problem. That's kind of the problem I have with some Big Finish stories that are just interconnecting. Unlike with the Master, go check out that video that I did reviewing the Master.
Actually, no, it'll be right there.
Yeah, out already. Go check it out. That is a connecting story. That is one story split into three. That flows well. Some between the first part and the second part, there's some. It's just mentioned some time has passed, but it flows well from one part into the other. This one, not as much, I would say. Now, going from Sphere of Freedom to Cataclysm, I don't know. It really does kind of like drag it out a bit, and this is the middle where everything should be like, okay,
a lot of things,
now
right?
Now it's happening. Now the plot's happening. We're going to get you ready for the finale.
And the problem with that is it drew it out too much to the point where it's like it's hard to talk about. It's like, what happened in this episode? We kind of already covered everything that happened in this episode. It's like, it's just I don't know. Audrey did her thing. That we saw her twice. Although I did like the scene where Audrey and the Doctor actually met up and like had like quite a long conversation. I think it kind of helped us figure out her character.
She knows more. She knows him, and he's like, okay, how do you know me? Because we only just met when you were pretending to be.
Look a little bit younger there, huh, Audrey?
Yeah. And then young Audrey, and she sees like Ghost Ninth Doctor. That is good stuff in this episode. I did like this stuff. I wish we had more of the whole like the Battle of Waterloo, where they're facing off against Soviet like tanks.
Yeah.
I wish we got more of that, or like the what is it? The captain guy, like the lieutenant guy fighting against a giant robot. I wish we got more of that in this part, because they're just things that happen, and I know it's then touched upon, concluded in Food Fight, but like I feel like they're just there to justify what happens in part 3, to get everyone together for the finale. They're the Joseph Williamson of this part. They are just there, and then we're gonna get an explanation in the next part. Although it's a better explanation than the actual stuff we got in Flux with Joseph Williamson, but
in defense of this episode, because I really liked it. Like, the more I think about it, the more I realize I enjoyed it. It felt far more natural to me, I guess. But
I'm the exact opposite of you. The more I talk about it, the more I didn't really like it.
I'm so here for the little things. I mean, we said how Nova was really just there. I absolutely disagree, because there are pivotal moments during the adventure where she is helping them lead them along, when they draw the garden with the romantic note that's written on the psychic paper to get him to say, maybe after this, because you're only under suspicion, maybe we can meet for drinks. And
this is Big Finish's. This is Big Finish's version of like the psychic paper, Rose, and Captain Jack Harkness scene. Like this is Big Finish's version of that. Like it's just very available.
Yeah,
but then
I was going to say similar to that in like the second part in Dr. Dances, when like they see the soldier and Rose is like, oh, I'm going to go seduce him, and Jack's like, yeah, you're not his type, and goes said, and it's implied, oh, he's not into it. He's definitely not into it.
I was thinking Jack could cut in on this one. Yes, I bet he would. But with who?
But then she knocks the guard out so that the way they can go ahead and escape, because he came in. And then, not only that, she leads to the idea that's going to lead up to the finale. Them getting the drones that were going to attack her, because they can sense the particles within her that show that she isn't like their mindless drones of people. And the doctor's like, yeah, we could do that. So we go XYZ. And she says, wait, that doesn't sound easy.
Here's the thing. And it's not exactly the same, what I'm about to say. It's not exactly the same, but it's a little bias I have. It's a prejudice bias. Same thing. I hate drones in movies and now audio drama, stuff like drones are just like the laziest thing a writer could do. It's because instead of like having a cool chase, a cool fight, anything like, there's going to be a shit ton of drones everywhere flying around. It's cheap and lazy. I hate it.
It's a tired trope.
It's
like,
a very
we'll just use drones.
I think that's a good point. We've talked this episode to death now, and dead in their hearts. Let's go ahead and talk about ratings. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Cool. Go ahead, Pixel.
No, you go ahead. Not
right.
You're not doing this again. You're going first.
All right. So my rating, I got like, again, the more I talked about it, we shouldn't have talked about it because it was up here. I gotta probably give it, I gotta say 3.5 or 4. Because in this is, I think it's the worst. Like, yeah, because like the last one was a 7.5. There's no way this is a 5. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. Being nice. The Doctor didn't have any good moments in this that stood out. I think it's still Doctor Who. It's still Christopher Eck. So I mean, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
I said I'd put it maybe somewhere similar to what I rated the first one, which was 7. I'm not gonna go too drastic like Jimmy. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as the first part, even though the first part had its problems. Probably 6.5 out of 10. I didn't think it was below average. There were still
did.
parts that I liked that I wished were expanded more on.
I'm just tired of things being drawn out. No, if things are drawn out, it's not for the sake of story. It's for the sake of drawing it out because you don't have much to say to get to the next episode.
I'm pretty sure it was shorter than the last episode. So that leaves me.
So it's drawn out and it's shorter than last episode. What does that say about the writer?
Doesn't feel drawn out to me. In fact, it feels good to me. Like the whole thing, I liked it better than the first part. In fact, I'll go as far to say, the time shifting made sense here. It wasn't just thrown back as the doctor was explaining some of the story to Audrey. Why am I even telling you? Well, in here, I felt everything made sense to me. I could keep up with it, and I'm excited for the end. And I can't say that I was particularly like hyped up after finishing the first episode. So I'm going to go up to a 7.5.
Oh, here's something else we haven't talked about real quick. This past, I want to say 3 days ago, cried twice.
Did you know what this show is, right? This isn't.
I watched.
This isn't healthy gamer GG.
Pixel, shut the fuck up!
The way you said that.
I watched An Adventure in Space and Time. An Adventure in Time and Space with Bradley, Bradley.
David Bradley, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. And the story of how great this is, I actually really fucking love. I cried twice because once when I got to see him and finally get to see the impact William Hartnell had on not only just the pop culture but with the children that he met in the park. How he just ended up just influencing them and bringing them joy. It was fantastic, and it brought a tear to my eye because I was just so happy. And then at the end when he said, "I don't want to go," anytime I hear that, David Tennant ruined those three words for me. And it had to do with another fucking doctor who I look up to so much, William Hartnell. So it's like, God, it got me again. You know what? Fuck you guys.
You can't come up in here.
Let's. Oh no, Jimmy, come back.
Jimmy.
I'm sorry. It's just how you started it is what set off Pixel. You're like, we're talking about Doctor Who, and you're like, wait, I haven't talked about something, and I cried this week. You're like, wait, what does this have to do with Doctor Who?
Not once, but twice. But it's fine, Jimmy. No, I understand. An Adventure Through Time and Space is a fantastic. What's the term?
Biopic?
Yeah.
Biopic. Yeah. It's fantastic. I remember seeing it, and it was right before when it came out, and it was right before 11 left that it came out.
Oh yeah, and that too. When he popped up, oh my god,
it's wonderful.
Oh my god,
I understand. But next week, if you go, we have something to talk about this week. I cried 3 times. Sorry. Yes, thank you so much for joining. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on our respective channels, Twitters, whatnots. It should be all listed down below. And we will see you next time on Madman with a Box.